Motor Widgets is a website add-on, okay? Chat is a website add-on. And I call website add-ons parasites. Now, I mean that in a good way, all right? I've called them parasites, I think, since 2006. And a parasite is anything added to your website is a parasite. Anything that's not provided by your website provider, it's a parasite. So chat is a parasite, Motor Widgets is a parasite. The thing to remember about parasites on websites is most of them are good. Most parasites are good. Some are not, but most of them are good. Now, when we talked about the 61%, remember it was messaging, it was reputation, and it was pricing. The Motor Widgets piece was around messaging. We're going to get to pricing and conversion later, but I want to talk quickly about parasites. So there are some rules for parasites out there. And there are working parasites, and you need to understand that most parasites are really good, and those are the parasites that follow these rules. The parasites should primarily have a lead acquisition focus. Now, for Motor Widgets, it's a combination of transactional transparency and lead acquisition, but they do have primarily a lead acquisition focus. Parasites should also deliver a cost per sale and a closing ratio that's at or near your own website. It's no good to add a parasite to your site that has a cost per sale higher than what you're already getting from your website, and their cannibalization rate should be very low. And how do you find cannibalization rate? You measure. Now, the top working parasites that are out there today that you should consider adding to your site are widgets and chat that we've already discussed. You should also have a good trade appraisal application. That's a great parasite that's out today. Lots of providers of that. You need to have interactive credit applications. Those are terrific working parasites. You should have automated specials. You should have special sliders. You should have pop-ups, and you should have pop-unders for your website. Those are the parasites that are working today. Now, let's talk about trade appraisal real quick. Let's talk about some keys to growing your sales with your trade appraisal. Because trade appraisal forms don't always do the best job today. There are some out there that I actually don't recommend. You need to make sure that your trade appraisal works in mobile. That's a key. You also need to make sure it highlights the unbiased third-party aspect of the process. Now, you want to make sure you give the consumer multiple opportunities to complete a trade form on your website, especially in the navigation drop-downs where 95% of your homepage clicks occur. And you want to make sure you have trade appraisal forms on your vehicle detail pages. Now, once you get a conversion, once someone has submitted a lead on a trade appraisal, all right, you need to focus your conversions, or your conversation rather, and all of your templates on the trade. So somebody fills out a trade appraisal form, right? And then they and you get the lead. If you call them about their vehicle of interest versus their trade, you're going to lose them. So all of your focus should be around their trade, and you need to be prepared for the typical trade objection. Most people who fill out a trade appraisal form on your site don't like the number that they get, and so their reaction to you back when you call them is, "Oh, I'm not in the market for a car. I don't want to trade my vehicle. I was just seeing what it's worth." They're lying. If they were on your website and they completed a trade appraisal form, it's not that they were looking to see what their car is worth, because they can see what their car is worth simply by going to lots of other sites, not a dealer site. Now, the key to growing conversions with interactive credit apps are your credit application must appear simple, meaning that if you're trying to capture a lot of information, if it's a real credit application, don't show me the giant long form, because the only people that are going to fill that out are the people that are 510 and below FICO scores, right? Credit estimators are better if you're trying to capture a lead versus doing a solid pre-qualify, even though the credit estimators do a good job of pre-qualify as well. Now, if you use a multi-step form for your interactive credit application, meaning they fill out a little bit of information, they move to the next screen and the next screen, you should make sure that your form captures information at each step, because the abandon rates for those multi-step credit application form can be as much as 20% per step. So if the first step is my name, my email, my phone number, and then I click to the next step and I abandon it, you need to make sure you've captured that information and that that gets transmitted into your CRM as a lead. If you're using video for your interactive credit apps, the video should play on a click only. You don't want automated video playing, because a lot of people are doing their car shopping at work, and suddenly through their speakers on their computer comes your video. Hey, welcome to our quick app, right? Now, our studies have shown that video versus non-video has no impact on the number of applications started, unlike whether you're using a long form or a short form. If you show me a long form, it has a huge impact. I have fewer applications started than if you show me a short form first. Now, interactive credit apps can increase completed apps, when there's the short form and they interact with the consumer, 100 to 200% more, and can raise your average FICO score by 50 points. Now, the key to growing conversions with your specials and your sliders is you have to have them. and you want to have them in mobile. That's rule number one for specials. Have specials. They need to feel special, right? They need to be discoverable. People need to be able to find them. Rule number two, these specials pages have to convert. We're going to talk more about specials later. The key to growing conversions with pop-ups and pop-unders, another parasite, is your pop-ups need to work. That is, they shouldn't be blocked 99% of the time, and they should always work in mobile. There must be a whiff 'em. What's in it for me? If you're going to pop something up to the consumer and you want to generate a lead, give them a whiff 'em. $250 off, $500 off, lock in internet pricing. You want to make sure that you combine your pop-up with a pop-under or a tab-under, and I'll show you a tab-under in just a second, because about 75% of your leads from that combination actually come from the pop-up, but another 25% come from the pop-under or the tab-under. Now, good pop-ups can raise your conversion rate on your website 35 to 100%. And a good pop-up will coexist with other pops, you know, the chat drop-ins, the Visa card, all that stuff. They won't get in the way of each other. And so that's a good one. Now, remember your website's purpose, okay? Attract and convert. So your website's purpose is to drive leads. So get over the fact that it's a pop-up or that it's annoying, because it's only annoying to you. See, you're at your site every day. Remember, most conversions come from first-time visitors.